even though maybe they would have had a game plan picking Train in that situation too, which seemed like a weird pick, they get a nice reality check when they actually get in the server and see these rounds are working for them.
Okay, we're just being told that there's a couple of little small issues to fix for Astralis in the booth, so it gives us a 5-minute window before the knife round.
They need to have a good circulation of oxygen there, Paul.
Is that what it is?
That's extremely important for your
breathing.
Breathing?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, I think they definitely
Otherwise
need to
you
breathe.
might choke.
Yeah.
I see where this is going. Awkward
I
silence.
honestly
Moving
didn't see that
swiftly on.
coming.
Yeah,
I'm
stunned after that. I'm not really. I wasn't
on,
prepared for
guys,
the
help me
Anko
out,
joke,
right?
so I didn't know that was
I try my
coming.
best.
You
I
do.
try my best.
You do, but it's just not good enough.
I know.
Be here literally all week.
Yeah.
I'm overpaid.
Yeah. I would say get your coat, but you've already got it on.
I think we're all overpaid monkeys.
because you are here with us for the first time this week as an analyst. We have this 5-minute window. It'd be nice to get your view of the tournament so far. There's been lots of surprises, lots of things have stood out, lots of great plays, but also some diabolical play as well in places.
Yeah.
What's filled your memory box?
I mean, I casted a bunch of insane games like the Astralis Navi match yesterday with Flamey with the 1v4, Dupree just eating them alive on some of those entry rounds. There were so many great rounds from the perspective of the game. And then from the outside of it, there's just been great production, right? That intro video gets me hyped every time. Like, I'd never seen it before. I'm like a puppy when I see that thing. It's so sick. And then there's also, like, the in-game stuff that they're doing is really cool. It really shows that they don't, like, that Starladder really knows Counter-Strike, like, as a game. And it sounds like a little weird, but I'd say, like, DreamHack and Starladder have some of the best production. It's really cool to see, like, the in-game gloves and stuff like that. Yeah. The finishing touches that show that they, like, from an event perspective, really care about Counter-Strike specifically.
Yeah,
and
so
also,
I want to shout out to PGL then if we're going to do that, because they're up there.
True.
So we need launers to give us this, a defining word of this tournament.
Oh, we do.
As
we didn't get
teams
words,
are concerned,
did we?
because we all gave a defining word, and the teams in focus.
I almost said something. Hey, we're into the knife round, so.
Lords gets away with it.
No. Plenty of time here.
Yeah. No, we'll get it from him when the knife round is up and over. There's 1-for-1 so far as we dash outside to the outside bomb train. A little advantage here for Astralis, perhaps. Yeah, just a one-man advantage. Captain Mo is the last man standing and retreating very hard, and will pick himself up one, but not both. So knife round one, so CT presumably going to be chosen by Astralis.
I'll say, and this might not be appropriate, upsets are probably the best way to define the story of this tournament.
Okay.
We did this pre-tournament. We did this
pre-tournament.
Yes, it's
we
easy,
came up
easy
with,
for
what did
me
we come
now,
up with?
right?
Volatile, messy,
and
process.
Yes.
Yeah.
Process?
Yeah. It's a process
you
have to go
through.
Natty went all kind of like psychological on us. We were a bit worried, but it was
3
fine.
levels deep. But it's been upsets, right? Navi, Virtus Pro, Godsent. Like, I wasn't here on the desk,
VG.
but I had the same predictions.
Yeah, VG.
VG, yeah.
Over VP.
Over VP,
Yeah,
yes.
VP going out first in the group.
I think
I'm glad that going out.
I'm glad that at least one of the two teams is out, because saying VG against VP is like such a mess.
That's such a great reason.
Especially for me. I don't even know what I'm
appreciate it,
saying half of the time when I mention the two teams.
Because we don't want to say Virtus here. We only want to say VP.
Yeah.
So when you have VG, doesn't fly.
Well, you can call them VG Gaming and Virtus Plow, and then that way you're fine, right?
Or Virtus Premier.
It's a mouthful for us non-native speakers with broken English.
Yeah, okay. Well, they are out, and I'm sorry to see them out, actually. With events like this, when you see one team going out, there's a big team, and it's a surprise and it's a shock, it's usually quite cool for a neutral, because it means an underdog have gone through, or there's a cool story, right? But when you lose a few of them, it starts to get a bit like, whoa, who's going to win?
The problem is that usually it messes up the quarterfinals. It makes them lopsided. So we'll see how this works out. But since we have so many upsets so far,
whilst we're on the subject of the quarterfinals, by the way, sorry, Nonders,
no
why don't we just update everyone with the quarterfinals if you aren't already aware? We haven't shown you the graphics so far, but I can tell you that Cloud9 will play Flipside, NiP will play the TyLoo or Astralis, G2 will play Envy or VG, and Heroic will take on Dignitas. It will be an all-Danish quarterfinal. What a surprise after the group stage. More Danes playing more Danes. We love it. We are going to get ready now for game number one, though, as we head over to our commentary team.
Yes, thank you so much. We are going to get into game one, finally, of this series. And Astralis, well, the last of the 3 Danish teams. The other 2 have made it through. It puts a little bit of pressure on.
Absolutely, and against TyLoo as well. A bit of an unknown quantity in this tournament. Have some big upsets as well, taking out a Titan in the form of Navi. That was on Mirage. We haven't seen them play Train yet. But the thing is, we have seen Astralis play Heroic. They actually lost it. I think this is a little bit of a dummy move from TyLoo coming in. The fact they've actually had that demo, we know how hard the Asian teams work. They maybe have been analysing this and have a few tricks up their sleeve. You kind of speculated, you suggested that maybe they anti-stratted Navi in a sense with their pushes towards short and stuff like that. Do you think we'll kind of see similar things here on Train?
Whether or not it was a direct counter strat or it was just a meta that did counter them, okay, that's up for debate. It looked to me like they knew exactly what they were trying to accomplish against Guardian and Edward inside of middle.
Yeah.
With this, it's interesting, and the panel all thinks that this resides in the favor of Astralis, and on paper that's the safe bet. And when you look at the maps, you think Train. All right, we know they're decent at it.
Yeah.
But that was picked by TyLoo. Right?
Yes, this is what scares me.
And the thing with TyLoo is every time they play a map that no one's seen them on, they always bring something different and dynamic and a little bit shocking, and it catches teams off guard. So there's a very scary chance that Astralis are complacent going, all right, it's Train, as we get ready to go.
The hype is building, Matthew. I wish we had some voice to the crowd. That's my favorite way to interact. But
you do like that, but
I do.
You have no friends here, so.
I do. You're going to have to listen to me by yourself. But looks like we're getting straight into it. The pistol round has started. Astralis on the CT side. And we're going to have 4 sets of armor. And it's a raid boss for TyLoo as well.
Just to finish the point quickly, though, if Astralis have been struggling on this map and have problems between Kerrigan and Kierby, as we know they have, and specifically against Heroic as well, this will be a map where they'll be tested by TyLoo's dynamic play, potentially, as somebody busts in toward the B site, takes down Zipex. Yes, Twitch chat. I know you're still wondering who, but you'll figure it out someday, as it's going to be DD pushing forward with the Tech 9, and Dupree's the one that's in front of him. It's somebody, again, that finds the kill over top of his shoulder while the reload gets a little bit fumbled, but somebody, he's up to 4 kills, and he might get more. They've got Device lined up for him, and it's an ace to start it off. TyLoo, somebody, his 2nd ace of the tournament.
Got a feeling we've got a game on our hands here, Matt. This is going to be explosive. TyLoo goes straight in with the B rush there. We know they're going to be fast and aggressive, but they've got a great skill ceiling as well. A B rush, not so common. A lot of teams will go to B eventually, but normally it's have one smoke down towards lower ramp and try and get the plant down. TyLoo throw the rulebook out the window. They're straight in there. Zipex isn't expecting it. He goes down to 0 kills. The bomb's planted. And what's good about that as well, they're pushing to the back. They're stopping the rotations come through from the CTs as well. Astralis couldn't shut it down. Only pick up 1 kill, and it's going to be Astralis with the semi-force by here. A couple of sets of armor, a couple of Deagles and some CZs, but TyLoo, rifle heavy, going to have 2 SMGs accompanying them as well. Those will be UMPs. And looks like they're heading towards inside once again. Zipex waiting on the ladder here, though, hoping he can spray them down as they walk around the corner.
I think we're going to see a lot of B hits in this game, quite frankly, because I think when Astralis switches over, if they play a passive style like I might expect, given there's so many angles you have to cover off outside in the yard, then B is going to be the most open position to try and get bombs down from Astralis in that respect. So we'll see if this holds true when we get that far into the game, but for the first half, so far, slowing it down as TyLoo won the pistol round. DD's going to go back with the Galil and just sort of evaluate what else is going on. Does he know Fancy's in there? Because he's checking it as if it's occupied, but his teammate's already there.
I'm interested to see what they bring to the table in terms of T strategies here. Obviously, they have smokes available right now. They don't want to go into these sort of positions. A lot of choke points on Train where the CTs can be hiding behind with those CZs. And the bomb is actually going towards main this time. So a couple of smokes deployed as well. Going to be sticking as a tight unit, not giving anything away. No one holding the flanks here as well. So we'll see whether it's successful for them. But this thing is, Astralis have stacked towards inside. This is a round that's over at this point, unfortunately, for the CTs. You need to decide, do they keep the upgraded weaponry or do they try and take some of TyLoo down with them?
And they do have someone waiting at Pop Dog as well. Somebody's just waiting there with the AK-47 to make sure no one can come around from that angle. That's pretty much going to limit off and tell TyLoo that it's all going to be from C team. The SMGs can go to work. Fancy's going to pick up some money, as too will Captain Mo, and he'll get a Tech 9. Why not? Because it's overpowered. That's basically 2 SMGs in his hands. So he's got money, he's got kills, he's got weapons, and they've got a second round as they move over and into the third. It'll be basically the full save. We talk about this. The CTs, things are a little more expensive. You can't get a bomb down, and, well, don't spend it all in one place, Henry. I know you like to do that.
Yes, I certainly do, but it's going to be Astralis doing the exact opposite. They're going to be going for a full wiki here. This is one of those redundant rounds we often refer to. It just means they haven't invested a single penny into this. Not an upgraded pistol at all. There'll be 5 USPs. Not going for a stack this time. The inside stack really didn't work out for them in the previous round, but Kerrigan trying to get towards Pop Dog, but somebody will find him, shut him down. They've got the man advantage now. At this point, don't really need to overcommit, but they're going straight into this outside bomb site. Going to be throwing the Molotovs as well. It's very successful so far. Kiabi with the boost on the ticket booth, does some damage, but actually can't finish it off.
TyLoo looks composed. This is going to be scary now. You wanted the answer to why they picked Train, and Astralis is good on this map. TyLoo looks great. Somebody clears off every possible angle before walking in, knows that the one place he can't see in the site is out toward Pop Dog. After he's pushed them back with the Molotov at Hitch, he peeks out, catches Kerrigan moving, and they go in together. And they're clearing angles so successfully. Bombs down on A, and they're pursuing on B instantly. They're looking aggressive.
Yeah, they're sticking together as well, which I like, with efficient executes. Even on these rounds, they know they've got no weaponry. They want to eradicate every sort of risk going into these situations. A lot of teams in Europe, they'll actually play a default and they'll try pincer certain situations. That can mean you can get caught up by a crossfire with the CZs or Deagles or something like that, and then you can drop men across the map. In this sort of formation, you can actually frag efficiently with the expensive firepower. And we go into round number 4 here. Device has pulled out the AWP. It's a glass cannon, though. It's going to be Captain Mo. We know how deadly he can be with that weapon as well. This will be a very explosive battle, and we'll see how it pans out. Much more default play to kick things off, though.
Fall back slightly. Kerrigan looking for some shots out toward Ivy. It's Fancy that's the one opposed to this, and this will give us a bit more of an indication of exactly what the defaults are going to be from either team now that we've got guns out. Fancy seems to be solo toward Ivy. Whether that's something that continues, we know some teams put up to 3 players there early on to try and pull the CTs in that direction and open up some space and the outside of the site, out toward A main, out toward Pop Dog, but a very spread out default from TyLoo so far.
Still have 4 smokes available at this point, so a full execution is a possibility. At this stage, they're just trying to bleed out the CTs. They know it's going to be a low buy from that force in the second. Device on the glass cannon as well. They only have 1 defuse kit. A huge advantage in terms of the weaponry for TyLoo going into this round, and that's actually it for Astralis. Everything's been expended. There's 50 seconds left as well, and TyLoo have got real estate on the map. You can see somebody on your screen right now. He's controlling the upper hall, so that means Zipex doesn't actually have much information to provide to his teammates. I'm guessing this is an outside execute. You can see them lining up for smoke right now. This could be volatile. Can Astralis hold? Oh, okay. Well, that changes everything, Matt. A mistake from somebody. What's the change here? Do they have to adjust?
They go immediately to B. I don't know if it was a fake intended or not, but those 2 players immediately rotated off toward the ramp. That's going to be where Zipex is waiting. Bombs there as well. And Device, the AWP, it finds 1. Zipex is able to rotate around the train. And Kierby's got Fancy. So whether or not that smoke was indicated to be a fake or otherwise, they had to change plans to go toward B. And they don't even get that far. Attacker's at least been able to slip out undetected at upper. He'll find 1 kill quickly onto Zipex, but he doesn't have the bomb. Despite getting to that plant position, it's back in the hands right now of Captain Mo on an AWP, and time's expired. He's almost vulnerable right now because look at the position where Kirby is. They've got to keep these guns up. They manage it. Just barely manage it, as the AWP was vulnerable as well in the back of the halls.
Yeah, I can't really speculate as to whether that was more of a panic move. It seemed like they were committing to the full outside play there with the smokes going down. We saw that misthrow. Maybe that was vulnerable to a huge gap and they needed the smokes. They went back to inside. The problem is, though, they just ran down the lower ramp completely dry. And Zipex spots him. Device rotates over. He hits the first frag as well, and they're able to adjust and slow it down so much that TyLoo can't even get a plant out of that. They do have residual cash going into round number 5, but still, that was sloppy from TyLoo. I was expecting a little bit better. Dupree's on the Mag 7 this time. He was going in towards the Pop Dog area, and we can see pretty much the exact same default from TyLoo before. Get control of the upper halls. And this time, no smoke used towards the end of Ivy. It's actually Attacker trying to jump across. Normally we see that with a run boost. This time, Device actually nails him, and they get the man advantage.
Fancy's just going to wait as well inside of Ivy. So guns again, but a man down, Attacker gone. Astralis fighting back, and that fast, aggressive play that TyLoo showed against the Pistols has subsided into a default that doesn't seem to have the number against Astralis, at least not yet. Down the ladder, that was too easy, too readable for Dupree. No pop flash, doesn't matter. He was playing the doorway, would have avoided it, but he only gets 1. He goes down in the end. That shotgun not able to do much more than just 1 kill and a fraction of damage onto Didi, who comes in with the bomb and the AK-47. It's Fancy pushing late at Ivy as well, so now he'll join his 2 teammates in the A site. That's going to leave it to a 3 versus 3. They fought back valiantly, but watch out on top of the train. They don't see Zipex coming through the middle, and it's going to be able to cut back onto Fancy, who thought he'd cleared that angle just previous. Mo, though, does have another shot. Watch Kirby, because he is on the flank, and they won't anticipate this at all. Not only that, it's Didi that's going to be the open. He's the one with the bomb. If he gets caught right now, he's going to be thinking he's entirely safe. Bombs down. It's on top of the train, and Mo, he's got 2 kills already, but an AWP to pull this back in 18 seconds. To try and do it, Kirby peeks. There was no need to do so. At least he can relay information to Device, but even that, it's a futile cause. The AWP not pulled. He goes to the Deagle flash out. Device has avoided that. He's not sure where he's gone. Device is beside Mo, and he's getting desperate. 4 seconds. Device. No! Oh, he lags him. He nearly pulls it back, Mo. Time's gone. He's got to stay alive. They need this AWP. Device over the top, and he does save it, at least with a no-scope, but that got awkward.
1 second remaining, and they could have pulled that back. Captain Mo gifted an opportunity to land the shot. He just whiffed it as well, and it's going to be a device saving the round there. Could have gone either way. KRB at that point, when it's towards that pop dog area as well, the bomb had been planted. They had the bomb site completely locked down. Surely you want to wait for the sound cue to come in and attack him together. That got very risky, and you can still see the CD money still affected by this. Going down to another 1v1. Dupree's back on the shotgun. They're lacking utility across the board. Just 3 smokes, and this time Captain Mo, he gets the first shot. They're actually going to open things up in a 5-on-4, and they're actually going to be heading straight towards inside as well. It's Captain Mo working towards outside, but his teammates ready to strike, and Zipex, he's got a lot of work to do here.
Being able to buy out again around that AWP, it's working out. DD will take Zipex and look again immediately as soon as they get B site. As you mentioned in the pistol round, they're not complacent. They push forward. They take ground away, but they've got to watch the flank. Dupree. Call that clay shot, that clay pigeon, and he fires from afar, but he's not able to get the damage all the way through. It is going to be 2 kills quickly from Astralis, but is it too little too late? They've got the outside of the site covered off, but they still have to find a way forward inside of it, get a defuse, and they've only got a kid on KRB to do so with. So this is going to be a round for TyLoo, and that's, I have to give credit where credit's due. Convincing considering they lose 2 in a row and they justify bringing out the guns. Lose that, shambles for the economy, they pull it off.
Yeah, it's all down to Captain Mo at the start of the round, finding that first pick towards Carrigan as well. It's designed to actually cause distraction towards the outside side. It works perfectly. Zipex alone towards inner. He goes down straight away, and TyLoo, they stay alive with 3 men, but the important news is as well, Astralis has a full reset for them, but they save 3 weapons, so they can force around this device for the AWP as well.
Good thing you're in game today, because when the bomb goes off, everyone's picture fades. So I actually thought, looking at the preview screen, that they went down to the bomb. So you're right,
no,
they did stay alive.
This time I have information, Matthew. I can feed it to you and be your crutch.
Godly Henry is back, the all-seeing eye.
Yep, this is it now. We're going to be firing on all cylinders, cooking with gas. As we go into round number 7, there are 2 shotguns for Astralis this time. Carrigan on the UMP, definitely still weak going into this one. It's a 4-man stack towards outer, and just poor old Zipex once again. He's only got the shotgun by himself. This is a gamble from Astralis. He doesn't really have the firepower to hold off an inside push, and that's where the majority of the focus from TyLoo has been going towards as well. They're actually heading towards the inner halls right now. A couple of smokes towards Ivy, and Carrigan not going to have the backup of the AWP this time, just him and that SMG.
I've got a request, if it's possible. If anyone watching speaks Mandarin and is listening to the English stream, if there's some way you could translate some of the communication and comms from TyLoo, that would be lovely, because they seem very good and vocal together at working as a unit. And although their language seems chaotic and I have no idea what they're saying, I would imagine it's very, very clear communication.
I'm sure it's efficient. Just
exactly.
giving information that's required, you know?
Exactly.
Not chatter, no nonsense, just making sure they're giving information that's absolutely beneficial to the team. But we hit the 1-minute mark here. The bomb's still down towards T-spawn. 2 players actually set it with smokes as well. They have 4 of those available, so an execution definitely possible. They know the money for Astralis is very low, even though they save through weapons. KRB hunting for a frag. That's what they need to do right now. They're so up against it with the firepower they have, so he needs to be doing work with this M4A4.
I mean, he does have an elevated angle that they've not yet played. So DD is going to be suspecting them to be lower. That's going to give away that he's in the corner as well. And KRB's not confident to take the fight, doesn't know what's going on inside of the smoke, but at least doesn't overcommit to it. He can play that accordingly and efficiently to stay alive. Smoke's going to benefit him getting away now, but only if Carrigan stays alive, because Carrigan staying alive means that they won't be able to get to hell and pincer him in. And they've got it. KRB, he's pulled 2 back. We didn't see it, but he was a dead man walking, stuck between 3 players from TyLoo, and he kills 2, keeps his team in this round, and not only in this round, they win it with Device taking down DD at quad.
KRB had some work to do there towards main. We speculated at the start. He's the only player with the M4A4. He steps up, finds 2 kills as well, and Device rotating from connector. He locks it down. You can see TyLoo wasting a lot of time at the start. They're trying to hunt for information. Didn't really gain much on the map. They execute towards outside, and that close up-front personality from KRB at the start of the round takes them down. And that was the job he had to do there. It's going to be a force buy from TyLoo, interesting enough. It's 4-3. They still have the advantage. They know the money for the CTs hasn't recovered just yet, so it makes sense. They're going to try and do a smoke execute, I'd imagine, towards outside straight away. You can see them lining up on the minimap right now. The objective of this, surely to get the bomb down. Could be some sort of fake there. The bombs have popped off for now. They could go towards inside and know that Zipex plays alone. And once again, somebody, come on!
That's again, and I don't know what that is. He's lining himself up in the corner. It's relying on the crosshair placement, but yet it's off, so... Is there a view model setting he didn't put into his config that he's relying on? I'm not sure, because that's a crosshair placement throw, which that doesn't change. That shouldn't change. But second time he's messed up that smoke, and although the bomb goes down this time, they've got work to do. Again, they force buy. Like you say, they love to do this. We've known that from the past, and so far it hasn't amounted to many kills, but they've just got to buy time. That's all they really need. They've lost the rifle in doing so, though. Fancy might pull one back. Not to be. Carrigan hits the shot with the AWP, and it's going to be Astralis. I can't see a way that they fend this off, with Zipex already fighting forward. All right, attacker's done 1 now. He's got a second. Maybe I hold my breath a second longer. Low HP. He makes it interesting, but while that was going on, the problem in it all was that the defuse was already happening. If he'd maybe wrapped around behind E-Box the other direction on the train, okay, maybe, but chances of winning that were pretty slim to begin with.
So with the force spy and the smokes, we suggested the outside execution coming in. Obviously, there's something going wrong here. Somebody's smoke is missing consistently now. He needs to work out how he can actually make that work, because going forward, that's not going to help. You also mentioned as well, TyLoo love a force spy. That's definitely true. We've seen it in previous tournaments before. Against Asian teams, it works fantastically. They're so skilled, these players. They actually hold off the lower skilled Asian teams. But against teams like Astralis, that is going to be to your detriment. So once again, they have the Tech 9s. It's a partial buy this time with 3 sets of armor, upgraded pistols, and the smokes deploy once more.
Quick little smoke from Didi that drops down immediately, but it doesn't bloom in time, so dupreeh is going to find him. Still, though, another bomb plant potential for this, so if they want to force buy, they've got to find money to do it. That's one way of finding it in a flash. Attacker's got Kirby. This time things are slightly better off, despite that they're down to 3, because they've got a kill early to work with, but they're burning alive. Attacker stands inside the flames. Mo stands inside the smoke, but that's not enough of a curtain to keep him live and well inside of that shower of bullets raining toward him. It's going to be Fancy last, and last to die, really, is all the accolade he'll receive. As it goes 4-4, make it now 5, excuse me, for Astralis once the defuse is finished, and they take the lead for the first time in this game.
Yes, indeed. It's going to be 5-4, and that was a partial buy from TyLoo, very similar to the round before, smoking towards outside, trying to get the bomb down, and actually worked successfully as well. So that's going to be allowing them to buy guns into round number 10 here. You can see 4 AKs, make it 5 now. No AWP for Captain Mo, which was getting them opening picks. They have got the 5 smokes, 5 Molotovs as well. Flashbangs available, so we'll see who can have an adjustment here from Astralis. Normally do play Zipex by himself. He has got backup in the form of Device at the start. He hasn't got the AWP. He'll switch it over the roles to Karrigan as well, so he'll actually be watching towards Ivy. I guess that's a nice adjustment. His Device has been quite mobile with that weapon now, and it's more of a turret style with Karrigan, but this is the inside play. Will this be a full execute from TyLoo, or will those be doing quite a simple dry play, which we saw before towards that inside side?
Waiting to bust out on this B site. Look at the rotation. This is impressive from Astralis. They're going to have 3 players already on the site. Perhaps just trying to gamble on a read against TyLoo at this point.
No default at all, no presence on the map. Once these smokes come in, it's very obvious as to what's going on.
I didn't catch it because we weren't on the spectator point at that time. Did they bust out the windows? Because that could be a tell. They've done it every single round. Did they do it here? Regardless, they now see the smokes through the skylight. Molotovs will force Astralis to move, but look, there's 3 players deep in the site, so they have a lot of work to do. Counter smokes come in, and now it's all for naught. TyLoo's got to wait to try and enter. They'll go, and it's going to be Zipic's first. Device does not yet need to peek. He'll go late. Didi drops bomb, and Mo down only 1. But somebody finds a kill, but he gets taken down by Zipix in the end, who's not fast enough to react to get both. It's going to be dupreeh, and it's just Captain Mo remaining, 13 HP. This was, from our perspective, of course, they don't see what we see. That was all too easy for Astralis with the early read on B.
That's very poor from TyLoo. They're not going to win rounds in this sort of fashion. Execution towards bomb sites, detailed ones like that, are very beneficial, but you need to be running defaults at the start. You need some information. You can't allow Astralis to know, okay, well, they haven't done anything towards main, nothing at Ivy. They're doing all their smokes, dropping every single Molotov they have right now. We've got control of outside. Let's rotate 3 players towards inside. It's very obvious as to what's going on, and Astralis shut it down. Never looked in any doubt as well. They dropped their incendiaries at the same time. Like you said, counter smokes as well. TyLoo looked lost in that round, and you can see they're relying heavily on these strategies, but there has to be deeper exploration to the map before we can actually do that. So another recap for TyLoo here. No force buy. They have got armor, but the upgraded pistols are going to find 2 kills somehow. It's Captain Mo with the Desert Eagle, Didi with the Tech 9. All of a sudden, it's a 5-on-3.
Yeah, an early dink as well in that gap from E-Box. So that's what caused the aggression, as I get muted slowly. Henry's got a cough. He decides I don't need to talk. Well, he does so. And Zipix is going to rotate back over, though. Those 2 kills actually just force rotations, and therefore the response from TyLoo is to go toward B, but the bomb is the last alive. They've caught this and pulled this back. Karrigan doing so against Captain Mo, an attacker. He had a brief moment, an opportunity, a window that was quickly shut to go toward that default and get a bomb down, but he hesitated, and that's going to leave him without many options, really, in this case. And as we say, if they want to force buy, they've got to get the money, and they've got to get the bomb down to get that money. So this becomes a bit of an issue. Now, that all said, TyLoo's impressive fashion typically comes from a CT side, so if they can continue to get some decent numbers, starting off with the pistol, the ace from somebody, and then now 4 rounds, if they can get, I think, I want to say 6. I don't think 5's enough against a team like Astralis, but 6 to 7, they've got a chance.
It's workable, but the thing is, Astralis is very efficient on their T side as well. They're going to be bringing the power on the second half, so I think maybe more than 6. We know with the CT side, it's going to be good from TyLoo. It'll be interesting. Whether it's enough to beat Astralis, I'm not so sure. Astralis actually looking very comfortable right now. They've actually got a good read on the play style of TyLoo. I don't think any of us did going into this one. We weren't sure whether to run default to try and work picks. When they have worked the pits, it's been working very well, so I think they'll go back to that right now. Captain Mo back on this AWP, trying to find Kiabi, who's been a bit of a nuisance towards his main entrance, seeing if he can get anything from this gap, but so far that's going to be pretty optimistic as he falls back.
I like it. Takes every sliver of vision he can get. And sometimes in some of those positions, you think that it would take him reactions of the speed of light to catch those shots. It really doesn't, because you're not expecting to be seen from that. So sometimes people get caught just leaving themselves in the open there. Fancy quick flash. He'll round himself again. Solo once more toward Ivy. And Kerrigan's getting aggressive. Watch for a counter flash potentially. At the very least, a server bait.
Yeah, this is the thing. They just want Device to take a shot. If he lands it, amazing. They've got the man advantage. If he doesn't, he's baited Kerrigan in behind the server, and Device will do what he can to keep showing presence there. But the problem is the T's are falling back towards inside potentially as well here, and it's the first pick. That's what we're waiting for. Actually, I think there's a little boost over the smoke as Garby goes down. That's exactly what they wanted. Device trying to hunt in return.
He's trying desperately with this AWP. And he's tried 3 different angles. Now he might get one. Ooh, slows down attacker, and he just hits the arm. He can't get more than that through the edge of the train, as somebody will pull another kill in the way of TyLoo, but Fancy's going to add to that total. It's not all done, though. Dupree is reeking back. He's got 3. He's got 4 in the round total, but 3 very quick on the counter entry. He's got Astralis back into the lead of the round, and he himself may be able to find the 5th. They won't let him hunt for it. It's not one of those selfish plays. They've got to win it, and it's a 1 versus 2, so giving Mo a chance. He spots Ed, tags up, and Dupree, he'll get it. He'll get all 5, 7 HP to do it, as he gets tagged by the AWP in the end.
We saw Dupree have an amazing performance against Navi yesterday. We were wondering whether that form could continue into the next day. Apparently it can. Dupree finds all 5. Amazing stuff from him. And that was the man advantage for TyLoo once more. They tried to pounce on the opportunity, taking down Kiabi, but his Device doing damage, and then Dupree finishing them off. Very nice stuff from him, holding that bomb site efficiently. And we go into round number 13. There is money available for TyLoo, but not much. 4 AKs, and Captain Mo, the person who's been getting these picks, he's down to a deagle. So they are limited going to this one. This will be another inside play by the looks of things. He haven't been successful so far. It's so telegraphed. No default once again. They're going to be walking into inside, but what's the play here? How do they actually make this work?
It's the most well-constructed graphic railing I've ever seen. Somebody's got to hit a smoke here if they're going to do this again. That's the
Kerrigan
first and foremost.
Ali there at that point by himself. It's a move that can get you hundreds of information and lots of vital positioning on the map, but if you go down, that's actually giving a massive advantage towards TyLoo.
It speaks about Fancy's playstyle, though. He's passive again, even on this T side. They're just waiting and holding angles, and Kerrigan's not seeing much from him, so he gets impatient and says, okay, I think I can push this.
Yeah,
Are they even here?
We have seen that inside execute with no default before. He probably assumed it was the same thing. He goes down for it, he's punished. He does damage towards Fancy, but the man advantage still rings true for TyLoo. It's going to be the inside play we just speculated before as Captain Mo sets up for the smokes. And it's up to Device this time. Can he hold them off? Has been strong so far, but this is the fake. Maybe something a little bit different coming in. It's Kiabi. He starts to rotate.
Timing is everything. They nearly spot each other sooner. That's a good kick up from Device. That saves Kiabi because his gun wasn't drawn, and when it is, attacker drops. Bomb is inside of the A site on the ground as well with 34 seconds. Tag up onto Kiabi, but it's not a kill, and that'll leave him in the fight with 64 HP. That must have been a team tag because the AWP is on the CT side. As Fancy sits with 12 HP, he's going to try and let Mo do something with this. He's looked in behind. It's a deagle, though. You've got to be dead accurate. His teammate has one. Now he fires. The deagle can't do it. The deagle fails, and thank you very much, Valve. You've been CSGO'd, and Dupree says, we'll take the round on that. No problem. We don't really care.
Unbelievable. He's waiting for the perfect time to strike. His teammate gets a kill, takes the attention away as well. You think that kills, that's a foregone conclusion. That's definitely happening. He sprays the deagle widely, and he can't land the shot. But you have to say, though, Astralis read that situation very well, Matt. The fact it was an inside full fake at that point. Device, he wasn't buying any of it. He keeps towards outside, and Kiabi, he's the bait. And there it is, that backup from Device from the backtracks actually works out tremendously well there. So a good round from Astralis, 9-4 now. Another eco for TyLoo. It's a partial buy. They have maximum loss bonus, of course. Haven't got anything in the last 7 rounds, so they will have armor, Tech 9s, and those smokes once again. It's been good for getting the bomb down, but they're not really doing much more than that.
You almost want to see the knife come out when you have a deagle in that situation,
yeah,
right? It's like I would prefer the knife than the deagle in a lot of that. especially when he's elevated.
That's-
It's an even smaller headshot to hit.
It's like the worst feeling in the world like that. You have a kill on the plate and you think, oh, I can't miss this one. The first bullet misses and he starts kind of moving awkwardly and then he just, oh, God, guys, I hope no one saw that, but it was on screen. Thousands of people watching, I'm afraid, as we go into this execution. Once again, TyLoo have been focusing on these. I can't say I'm a massive fan. I like it when they're actually just running the defaults. Captain Mo's very good at getting these AWP kills, but money just hasn't been an option for them. The smokes come out once more. They'll probably get a plant down, but Kiabi's waiting aggressively once again. Nails the first headshot, looking for more.
Kirby's going to play this position quite well today, it seems. This has been one of the questions between he and Kerrigan. How can they coordinate? How can they play this quad to Ivy setup out of a two-man where there's a lot of ground to cover? And it's been a communication issue for them before. Not today. Kirby up to a 3 kill. We saw him get 2 in the past when he's pincered and trapped off. Somebody's got 1 at least with the P250, but it's just going to be Mo once more. 1 versus 5. And TyLoo's gone quiet. This is going to be 10-4. And we're staring at a potential 11-4 half after it was 4-2 and 3-0 respectively to start off for TyLoo.
It doesn't really matter if they got the bomb plant or not in that round. They had about 3K anyway. They're going to get 3,400. It's a full buy regardless. Double AWP setup this time, so you can see it doesn't really affect the matter too much whether they got the bomb plant down or not. It's going to be round number 15 here. I expected more from TyLoo after winning the pistol in such emphatic fashion as well towards the inside side. I thought it was going to be a really exciting game. They got the 3-0, but only found 1 gun round since then. It's going to come down to the picks once again. As I said, that's when they look their best. When Captain Mo was actually doing things with the AWP, this time he's got a fancy one joining him, and they've got control of the upper halls once more. Can they do anything with this positioning?
Well, double up. T-side. DD going to quickly Molotov behind E-Box. His teammate watching that while he thinks of throwing a flash forward as well. It's not required, and the smoke will push them back slightly. First player up the ladder noisily. Bait anyone in, potentially if they're there, and perhaps as DD waits, and then he'll silently climb up and join his teammates as well. Kerrigan on the AWP now. There's no chance he'll push Fancy and get caught off, but there is a chance Fancy with one of the 2 AWPs goes for this peek and crosshair, quick flick. Oh, okay, all right. Fancy's got it. Headshot dead on. No time to react for Kerrigan. It looked like he would just have to pull up just a little bit and hit that shot, but TyLoo's got the advantage.
A simpler game seems to be working so well for TyLoo, but 1 minute remaining. We have got the rotation from device towards outside. That's exactly what TyLoo wanted. They actually set up once again. Will just be the full execute, but there it is. Fancy, the beta Ivy. He goes down, but this still could work. Zipex alone. He needs to hold them off. What's the play here? Does he go aggressive or wait for the teammates? It doesn't matter. Dupree drops first. And finally, a gun round possibly going in favor of TyLoo.
And he was the one waiting at the ladder. I talked about the silent second climb. He goes immediately after them, and they catch him out with a quick no-scope, from Captain Mo. But as you say, it doesn't really matter if Device gets that kill on the rotation because they can act quickly on it knowing that he's rotated over. However, Astralis has come back around again from ladder, and Zipex has got all the kills. The retake's successful. They walk in, and this time they can't push far enough forward in the site, and Astralis, knowing they've done so in the past, will just slip in the back door while you do that.
We've been waiting for one of these big performances from Kiabi a while now since he joined Astralis. This has been a fantastic game for him, a chance to get in the playoffs, something that's eluded them for a long time now, and he's stepping up every single round. Another great performance. TyLoo, a heavy advantage there. We saw Dupree going down. I thought that was the round tied up, but this is some highlights from Kiabi. He's been a nuisance for them every single time. Wherever they go, he's rotating correctly, and him and Zipex working correctly together there as well. Very nice stuff. And for me, so far in that first half, he's been the MVP. Device been reading the game well as well. It's actually been a great performance from Astralis. 11-4. I don't think that's going to be enough for TyLoo here.
And Dupree with an ace and all of that as well. As with somebody on the other side, we've seen 2 aces in this game, but there you go. As you say, Kirby, MVP of the first half. It reflects in the statistics. Fairly even distribution between the 2 teams, though all things considered, slightly more for Astralis, but more to the point, if it's an 11-4 scoreline and the frag distribution is close between both, it goes to show you how close some of the rounds actually were.
Well, here we go. Then the pistol comes in. It's 4 players towards Ivy for Astralis. 5 sets of armor as well. This will be an aggressive round. There's no chance of any sort of fakes. They can throw the decoys over to hold some players towards outer, perhaps. They could go towards the back tracks here. Let's see what the players smoked out for now. Does that change their positioning? You can see them actually adjusting here, so maybe it's just an idea to bait out whatever utility TyLoo had available, and for now that works. It goes back into a default setup at this point, but Dupree, look at his positioning. He can just hold here and hunt for info. His teammates don't need to do much until he actually finds a player to kill. It's almost guaranteed at this point. They have no idea he's here.
Oh, this is so lovely. So lovely. Just walks in, headshot. Takes 2 with the Glock, but that's all right. It's going to take down Attacker. That's all that matters. Captain Mo's going to try and pull this back with his teammate Fancy beside him, and the Captain's got the first shot on the Device. Bomb's gone down in the meantime. That's the problem right now for TyLoo is they've lost numbers, they've lost time, they've lost pretty much everything required to make this round work except for DD, who does not have a kit. He's got a nade, but he does not have a kit. This is far too gone, I have to say. Nade will land on Kirby's feet, essentially not that much damage, all things considered. I wonder if there's a collision box on that track rail that prevents damage from doing so that close, but either way, it's going to be the round closed off. 12-4 second pistol. We may not get the crescendo that we expected from TyLoo on this CT side.
Well, what a round that was from Astralis. 4 players towards Ivy, and somehow it's Dupree sneaking out of main, completely undetected as well. How is that happening? How do they have no vision in that area whatsoever? They seem completely surprised he got towards the bomb train there, and that was perfect. Astralis didn't need to act until until Dupree did some work, and he did some tremendous work getting the headshot towards the connector area, gets himself towards heaven as well. That's round over. The CTs are rotating into a death trap at that point. There is going to be a forced buy. We said they love doing this, and at this point, it's probably justified. They need a miracle to get back into this game as well. It's going to be 4 CZs, head armor, and a scout in the hands of Captain Mo. You can see Astralis aren't messing around here. The smoke's going to be going down. I'd like to see them stick as a unit instead of trying to pincer an area.
Wall of smokes out already on the site. 2 pistols behind and 1 forward in the corner. That person, DD, gone. As to his attacker, Zipix, knowing they're on pistols, just going to rotate around behind them with an AK. And if they try and save anything they forced in the second round CT, they won't have it in the third. That's the goal as bomb goes down on the B site.
At this point, Astralis know how low the money's going to be going to the next round. You see them kind of being a bit speculative, kind of hunting a little bit. You see Carrigan's holding towards outside, seeing if they will rotate. But it's a fancy one towards connector for now. They have got the head armor and a scout as well. That's pretty much all they can take the next round. It will be the rest of the teammates with nothing. So
I expected, well, I called it Astralis, but I expected a little bit more of a push on that, just given the positionings. They are going slowly now, but I guess ultimately Astralis no need to give away guns themselves with such a lead. Such as that, but thankfully saved.
Wow, Captain Mo, the last player. He's towards Ivy, but he has got company with Device as well. I'll tell you if he goes down, which he does. That's important. You need to know that, Matthew. So just to let you know, the scout has been dropped, and it will be 13-4, and a completely redundant round coming in from TyLoo. They can't really justify buying anything. I think I've had the pause, which I have. This will be tactical. This will be from TyLoo. I guess at this stage, it doesn't really make sense to have a pause this time. Maybe next round it would, to see how you get on this. Maybe get a couple more kills. You see what you have to work with. It's going to be limited in that first gun round as well. So almost certainly going to be 14-4 here for Astralis. First gun round after that full investment on the second. They're going to have no glass cannon AWP. That won't be available after the Captain Mo didn't save anything. They had CZ head armor as well. They can basically get M4s, body armor, and maybe a couple of smokes. That's about it, depending on who gets kills this round. So Astralis in a very tidy position right now. Don't really have to work for it too hard going to this one. Slow default at the start, stick together out towards main, bomb plant, job done. But TyLoo, I have to say, we were waiting for the CT side map, and I don't think we're going to see it today, at least on train.
Yeah, I don't think that's going to be a thing, unfortunately. And it's knife for sides as well, going over to overpass, which means there's no guarantee we'll see it there either. But I'm less optimistic, oddly enough, for well, I guess not oddly enough, it wasn't their pick, and it's another custom. So we thought maybe there was something in store for them on train. I have to say there was some execution that I saw that I liked from TyLoo, but they just couldn't beat the individual
They were relying
plays.
on it too much. You cannot do this as a top team. You can't just go walking into B, get control up all to do a set piece. It's just not going to work against these teams. They've been around the block. They know what that means. If you've got no presence on the map whatsoever, they're going to rotate players over, which Astralis did as well. It was poor. There's no other word for it, unfortunately. It's a nice execute, quite beautiful the way it goes in, but it's very easy to hold off when you have numbers there.
Well, either way, it's going to be Device pushing up. Captain Mo goes down, second man above, though he won't spot that one coming in. Doesn't really matter. Fancy can't land the kill with the USP from above. The Device has 2. Kerrigan's got a 3rd. It's somebody that goes down and fall away with the UMP. They've got kills required. Bomb take its time to go just to make sure they don't overcommit anywhere, but really with 2 players left and a crossfire coming in, doesn't make much of a difference. 14-4, Astralis well and truly in control.
Well then, here's the first gun round map. The chips are down for TyLoo, all in. It's going to be 5 rifles, one of which is a FAMAS as well. It's DD trying to get a couple bit more bits of utility. An HE and a smoke. They have 4 of those, but no AWP, no kits. If the bomb goes down, it's going to be an incredibly hard procedure to actually get back in this round. Astralis know the money's low as well. I think a main rush is coming in, and why not? The perfect time to do it.
Device already watching down that corridor toward help. Somebody inside of the site, though, is going to be overwhelmed. They've lost control of quad. They have pulled back at least hell, though, from Mo, but remember, Device is watching that AWP. There's not much movement to wiggle in there, and DD, a good flank, will catch off Zipix at least. Now they've got a chance. That flash,
Wow.
though. Kirby's going searching for him, and Mo, he's heard him go by. He's got vision. It's restored. Still be careful, though. Device still here. They can't overcommit to this play because it can start to deteriorate quickly. If they lose health and quad all at once, they can push through. That nade does decent damage, and Kerrigan's going to try and take advantage of this that smoke, that's gone out. Double flash from Device to push him through. But they've rotated around accordingly. An attacker, he's made the spot, he's made the call toward A main, and Fancy inside Pop Dog is going to peek off the back of that information, leaving just Kerrigan. Well done from TyLoo. Kept control of the alleyway as they needed to do and didn't allow Astralis to round about the site as they planned.
So it's Astralis, like I said before, the fact they're going for a main rush there, they know the money's low, they're forced by in the second, weakens the CTs, they definitely won't have an AWP, they're going to be lacking the utility, definitely no incendiaries going into that first gun run as well. So that's a decent call from Astralis, but like you said, very well played from TyLoo in terms of landing the shots and working as a unit. This strength from TyLoo going into this round as well, they managed to keep 4 players alive, which is hugely important. They would have been so weak going into round number 20. They have picked up the AWP from Device as well. That'll be in the hands of Fancy one for now. Interesting, it's not Captain Mo, but still a full gun round from Astralis. Very clean anti-ecos for them in number 2 and 3. So Fancy this time towards his upper ramp area. Not super aggressive, hoping someone walks into his crosshair. He has got backup as well. That's going to be from Didi. And a chance for them to find this opening pick, which I think, okay, I thought Fancy could justify basing that, but apparently not.
Well, Didi's going to play down below. They've rotated back off this. This will give the corner to Astralis to work with. Device on the AWP. He's waiting top ramp. He's just put out smoke at the sidewalk, potentially going for the jump down and hold off from the rotations, but the Molotov going the other direction. They look to go the other way, and it's the A site where Kerrigan finds somebody. That might encourage a full rotation back to an A play. Was that a team? Yep. That was a team shot.
Okay. And it's actually to his detriment as well, as that's going to be assisting Zipex. What the hell just happened? Train's been a bit of a nightmare for TyLoo as well, and this would be a horrible way to finish it.
Yeah, that's nerves. There was no smoke there either. It's not like you just saw a model through it, but it's Device that pulls back against Mo. It's still going to be Attacker. They're still not done in this. They're down a man, but they've given themselves a chance by finding at least a kill on this 4 versus 2, or what was at least. Attacker in the A site, that was now all that's left, because Device is a lineup behind E-Box. And it doesn't really matter. It's all for naught this fight because Bomb's going B. Device, if he finds it, great, round over. If he doesn't, they still have a lot of ground covered off in that B position, and they're already just watching to make sure he doesn't rotate through Z. No need to commit to it. An attacker's going to bail.
Yeah, at this point, Device doesn't want to risk giving away the AWP to attackers. There's a lot of places to hide on Train. If he picks up that AWP, that gives them a chance going to the next round. This is great work from Astralis. The rebuy was expensive for TyLoo going into this one, so they only get $1,400 next round. They're going to be strapped for cash. Attacker needs to stay alive to have any chance going forward. It's match point for Astralis now. 3 players surviving for them. They surely will go on the hunt for this. Guaranteeing the bomb isn't going to be defused at this point. Decent position from Attacker, like I said. Plenty of options to actually save a weapon, so he probably will at this stage. You can see them kind of hunting out towards outside, but he'll survive. And that's pretty much as close to GG as you're going to get at this point. 15-5, 10 rounds in a row required from TyLoo with no money going into number 21. Just a matter of time, I'm afraid, but like we said, we were expecting to see something interesting on the CT side. That's where they've shone at previous tournaments and at the beginning of this one against Navi as well. But round number 21 will be 3 M4s, a CZ, a 5-7, and a couple of smokes. It's not much, but it's something. And someone's going to have to step up here, and we'll see whether this stack outside works out for them.
Well, immediate smoke toward A main. Potential to slow down TyLoo in any fashion. Kerrigan waiting out at Ivy has Device way back toward T-spawn, also watching in case anyone pushes through. He's slowly advancing, bringing Kirby in that position. So we talked about some teams, particularly TyLoo, only playing 1 person at Ivy, while Astralis looking to put 3 there this round. We mentioned sometimes teams like to do that as well to try and pull the CTs back away from the A site and potentially win the war in numbers at that position. I should say win the battle, not the war.
We have 3 players for Astralis towards Ivy at this point. No presence from the CTs. They can get to the end, drop a couple of smokes and flashbangs, and they'll have control of that area. It'll be incredibly difficult for the CTs to hold this one off. Captain Mo with the 5-7. He'll be smoked out. Actually, at this point, if Astralis haven't spotted anyone, why even use it? They're just going to go for the kills here. Captain Mo has a chance with the 5-7. He gets one, but it's answered back by Device there. 4-4. That's ground gathered as well. So they're going to go towards the backtracks by the looks of things and just try and scout out the map.
Shoots that 5-7 so fast, doesn't he? But amounts for a kill and only a kill. It does give some chances. It's down to just 3 rifles left, though, still to TyLoo, as Fancy's going to wait up on top of the bomb train. He's trying to see toward the backtracks above the smoke, which is now dissipated, dissolved, and giving him clear vision, freedom of sight, somebody, that's a big pick. He's been waiting for that. He knew Zippix was up there. He heard the glass go out. He heard the nades go through. He's got a rifle, and the rifles are going to work. Device has no idea behind that smoke. There is still attacker residing, and it's going to be 6 rounds now for TyLoo.
And the money's not great for Astralis as well, so a few more twists and turns here, apparently, as TyLoo pick up a pretty hairy round for them, considering the buy going into that one. The 2 pistols actually delivering it. Captain Mo towards side alley with that 5-7 at the start, like he said, wildly spraying it at close range and actually gets the first kill. And then the CZ stepping up towards Pop Dog as well. So Astralis wanted to close things out there. At this point, it's not really worth force buying, of course. You don't really have to force a victory. Just make sure you get everything you need to finish it off properly. And TyLoo almost guaranteed this round. It'll just be Tech 9s at this point. 4 smokes, though, so similar to what we saw from TyLoo in the first half. Operation, get the bomb down. That's all you're going to have to try and get out of this situation. If you can find the first kill, a snowball effect can occur with these Tech 9s. It takes 1 kill, 1 person to pick up a rifle, and definitely victory is possible, but unlikely.
Straight smokes on A train. Nothing right now at quad, though. That's going to give somebody a just absolute easy time walking through as he finds Zippix. He's got Kirby. That lack of the 3rd smoke, and he's played it perfectly. Somebody in the right spot, right time. However, watch the Ivy position entrance because that gives Astralis 2 kills back. So even though they have the bomb down and somebody's up to a 3rd kill, they did find something out of nothing. And Kerrigan has an AWP. 55 seconds, sure, but he could do either economic damage, should he elect to do so to TyLoo, knowing that they've got to play a very long game to try and pull back into this, or just save it and try and go for broke in the next round, maybe even more than that if he finds an early enough kill against somebody, and now it's down to a 1 versus 2.
Still a lot of work to do here for Kerrigan. He has rustled their feathers a little bit here, considering the bomber's down and has time to work with. AWP in hand, I guess at this point you're probably right. He probably wants to just do some more damage to the economy. It is possible to win this round. He spots one towards main, smoke down, and DD's waiting, trying to work out when he can strike with his teammate.
Well, they've got the crossfire set, though. So Kerrigan reads right on fancy guesses. He's probably going to be behind the E-box or watching the bomb, and his teammate times it. Thankfully, didn't push up the alley behind the train and wasn't able to repeat. That could have been a problem, but a 1 versus 1, as we mentioned, playing the long game, it's all about the economy for the CTs if they want to give themselves half a chance, and that's going to cause a large reinvestment, including a UMP.
Including a UMP for sure, but this is a force buy from Astralis. They really needed that bomb to go down in the previous round. That would have given them a nice healthy buy going into round number 23 here. You can see Kiabi, he's got the Deagle, Dupree with the Galil, and it will be a default to kick things off here, but DD this time with the AWP. Seems like TyLoo don't really have any consistency who's running with that weapon. It's sometimes Fancy, sometimes Captain Mo. This time it's DD. And he'll actually be positioned towards that lower ramp, the shotgun-style play with the door, try to go for the first pick, and then fall back. Looking like Astralis will be setting up a smokes once again. As they are lining up towards that dumpster area as well. They have got some positional control towards inner, as they are going to be executing to outside by the looks of things, though. Zipex just at the Deagle, he'll be carrying the bomb. Once the bomb's down, that's when it gets interesting.
Dupree has made it out toward E-box already. They've left him a gap. That smoke now will cover it. He's got around it, though. He's already on top of the bomb train. 1 kill for him. Device with another. Attacker pulls it back, but he's traded. It's now a 4 versus 2. Watch somebody. Late peek coming out from Ivy. He's got Kerrigan in the back, but he's got to go more than that. They've got 2 kits. He's got 18 HP, and he's got a player to his right. He's just slipped in behind the train in time to get away. But what does getting away do if he can't find where he's going? And then where he's going is toward Zippix and Kirby, and he does find at least 1 lovely shot back from Zippix on the Deagle. And Didi, he's not sure where to fire with that AWP. He's got to go aggressive. He's got to make this play. He's got it down to the one-on-one. Bomb ticking, taps it out. Device not peeking just yet. Time to play it. He can still push forward, but he's lost track of him. He's not sure. And Device, he's got the game in the round for Astralis. It's going to be map 1 that goes to the Danes.
Never broke a sweat. Astralis very comfortable here on the first map. This is TyLoo's pick as well. We expected something interesting, maybe more on the CT side, but it was the T side for me that was disappointing from TyLoo. You'd see they've worked very hard on the theory side of it. They've spent all night probably watching the demos of Astralis and saying, oh, there's probably a little bit of a weak point here. Let's go with all these set pieces. But the problem is they're not running the game, they're not running defaults the way the game should be played. You need to be taking presence away from the CTs, baiting out their utility, then you do the executions. That's what the default's there for. They were relying so much on these executions towards inside primarily as well, and it was disappointing to see that T half from them. They won the pistol. That's a 3-0. They picked up 1 gun round after that, and that's not enough.
And the man we just saw leave the booth, Kierby, as I mentioned, him at Quad and Kerrigan at Ivy, there used to be a chemistry between Cajun B and Kerrigan that they knew innately which needed what. And if Kerrigan was aggressive at Ivy, Kierby, or Cajun B, as it were, would fall back, play more passive, play a support role, and vice versa. If Cajun B wanted to push up toward A main, Kerrigan would come over and support that. Kierby and he had never had the same chemistry, and as a result, Kierby's been struggling in that Quad position. Not the case today. He just obliterated them in that position.
Yeah, Kierby, I think MVP for sure, just for that first half performance. Just everywhere for them on the CT side. He seemed like he was locking them down, reading the game well, pushing at the right times as well, and just nailing the shots. I said it before in the cast. We've been waiting for a big LAN performance to come out of him. This could be the one. He's stepping up in every game so far, and hopefully he can continue this form in his best of 3.
Well, with that said, we'll take a short break. When we join back in with the analysts, they'll talk over Map 1, Map 2, and TyLoo's chances of trying to get into the playoffs, or will we have a third Danish team? We'll find out in a bit. We'll be right back.
Dota 2 and Hearthstone, CSGO and StarCraft 2, the largest contests in the history of esports among the national teams. World Electronic Sports Games, the World Championship with the total prize pool of $4.5 million. Registration for Europe and CIS regions is open. The finals will be held from October 6 to 9 in Kiev, Ukraine. Win your slot in the finals of the World Championship. Register right now.
E-gaming bets, online betting for every esports fan. Dota 2 and Hearthstone, CSGO and Overwatch, StarCraft 2, the choice is yours. Express bets for multiple matches or live bets on the game you are watching right now. Know your way around Dota 2, make a prediction for picks and bans. Playing CSGO, guess the number of rounds in a certain match. Daily quests for all participants and all the best choice of payment systems. More than 600,000 users have already made their bets on the spectacular matches since 2011. EGB.com. You know for sure who's gonna win.
Getting tired of playing with the usual skins, but don't have enough money to buy a new one? Get rich fast with CSGoFast.com. CSGO Fast. It's a strong chance of winning in every game. Several rooms with different game modes. Daily, more than 1,000 games, 5,000 players, and 25,000 skins at stake. You don't need much in order to sweep the board.